Hey, welcome to Tim's Workshop out here in the backyard. Getting ready to work on the 2001 Chevy Duramax. I have a hydraulic leak on my power steering and I bought some new hydraulic hoses. So we're going to change it. I got the tire off for access to start taking stuff apart to get to the hoses. Hey, if you're new here, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell, and give me a like. Hit the old hand thing and let your friends and neighbors know about Tim's Workshop on my YouTube, alright? Let's get going on this thing. I still have the star tip on here, and what I need is just a regular Phillips, which I conveniently have right here. And then I have this mud flap here, so we're going to take that off. And the reason I'm taking it off is because underneath it is this cover that I need to take off. So I've got to take this off first to get access to it. This 2001, I think it has some metric on it and some standard. So work on these trucks, you need both. This is riveted on, so we're not going to take that off. We just need access to get to these here. Just this one, and this one. So I'm going to shut this off because it's going to take a while to get all these off, so you don't need to watch all that. I'll turn it back on when I have access here. Okay, well, got the cover off. All right, so now I got to get the this intake off of here. So, I don't know which size it is. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get down here and unwind these by hand. So it's gonna take a while. Okay, well, I got this pipe loose so I could get underneath here to get that that line connection over there. Got that loose. I got the upper line loose, and I got like a metric set. I don't know what the smallest size is, but I needed the 17 and 19. Well, the 17 was bigger than this. I don't know if the new line has metric and this has standard. I don't know, but they're a little different, but I was able to get it off. The 17 was just a bit loose, so, but it was enough to. These things aren't, the torque on these are not that high, so anyway, so I got that one off, I got the other one off, and now what I'm going to work on, that where I stopped yesterday, that couldn't go any further. I got to get a new tripod. This thing sucks. It's falling apart. There's a hole down in there. Here's the 19. Once I got it broke loose, I got it broke loose with a breaker, extension, and this crow's foot. It's called a flared fitting crow's foot. Once I got it broke loose, this worked great. Just to get it in there and then ratchet it. Yeah, it's kind of a tight fit, but that worked. I love this small little shorty ratchet. It's pretty cool. Never used it before. It was in my toolbox this entire time and I never really actually got to use it. So what we're going to do now is put this on there, 13 millimeter, and I think I can get in there. This is really greasy. My hand is going to come out looking like I've been in the desert for 100 years. Let's see if I can get that loose. That's the last thing, and then we can get this thing down. I got to remember how this comes out. The top part's easy. Comes around all these hoses on the back side. I'm not sure about the steering. Let's see. Oh, it goes on this side of the steering, so that's good. All right, so let's get this in there. Get it down on that nut. And there we go. Perfect. You know, the socket and just a regular ratchet. I wasn't getting the angle right. It wasn't working. This works, yay! The thing's long. Got the bolt out. Okay, so let's get this hose out of here. Go in the back side of this. Okay, between the intake and that. Get this through here. And then this, what you have to do is you have to rotate it to get it through there. Well, it's fun. I got it out, and it looked the same. I got to put the little loop bracket to transfer it over to the new tube. I clean it off a little bit first, and then another thing I had to do, I had to take this front cover off. It goes up in this area, and I could actually just pull the tube right out. Anything for access, but it did make it easier to get the tube out. I watched one guy, he just kind of twisted it and came out the other way I was trying, but I couldn't do it. It just no way. So it was, with this cover off, it made it a lot easier. I got the O-rings here. I'm gonna put the O-rings on, put a little bit on the end here. There we go. Okay. Put that one on, and then get the one on this side. There we go. Okay, now we're going to push this up in through there. Alright, so I got the line in, I got it tightened up top, tightened on the bottom, and that line, it goes on this side of this tube here, but it actually ends up on the other side and connected. So you've got to start it here, right, get it in so the tube's on, the curved part is on the other side, but the tube itself is on this side going up in behind these all these tubes here, and then up, and then you put your screw over there. The line is actually on this side of the steering column. It's fun to put in, I'll tell you that. So anyway, the hardest part's done, and I got the hold down screw in. So now what I'm doing is putting the intake back together, tightening down those screws. I didn't take the clamps all the way off. You don't have to get it loose, but I only loosened up one end. I didn't have to take it all the way apart. So I loosened these down here, so I'm going to have to retighten them and tighten that one, put it back together. Put the covers back on, the forward one, the aft one, and the wheel cover, the wheel on. I already checked the fluid. I didn't really lose that much fluid, so I'll just top it off, and we'll test it out and see if our leak has been fixed. The old one was leaking down here. You could see where it was leaking. Yeah, it started leaking right there. They don't last forever, that's for sure. That's it for that. So I'm gonna put all this back together. You saw how I took it apart, so we'll turn the camera on more and more time once I have it all running and check for leaks, all right? So that's it for the 2001 Duramax power steering hose replacement. Went well. It was a real pain to do. But then again, when you think about how much money you save from having a diesel professional shop do it, it was well worth it. If I have to do it again, it would go a lot smoother, just like anything else, you know. The thing I learned from it, and that'll help you out, first off, I bought the hoses online, and they only cost like 75 bucks. And they ship from New Jersey, way back east. What I discovered doing this project, the small end is 17 millimeter, right? And it fits on there nice and snug. So that's correct. And then for the other end, I got a 19 millimeter open end, and it fits snug on this nut, okay, the flare nut. Here's the old hose, right? This is the 19 millimeter on the larger flare nut, and look, it's sloppy. That's because this is standard. This isn't millimeter. Yeah, really sloppy. This is 17 millimeter. So this is actually 5/8, and the other one, I can't remember, whatever it is, but it's standard on the old one. So when I bought the the cheaper set, it's great hose, but just so you know that you're going to need metric set to put the new one in, but to take the old hose out, you're going to need standard flare crow's foot. So you're going to need both standard and metric. If you don't have them, you're going to have to add that to the cost of the hoses. Alrighty, so I thought that was important to share on the end of this. And then another thing that's important, once I got it all together, you know, everything good to go, put the wheel back on so I could drive it and all that. You have air in the system. New hose, there isn't any fluid in it. So when you first start it, you need to turn your steering wheel back and forth and back. And it's going to be really hard. It's going to be like turning a truck without power steering. I mean, it's so, until you get it, that fluid cycling through. I actually drove it down to the street before it actually kicked in, but I don't suggest you do that. I think you could, it would probably be easier if the tires were up off the ground to do it. Let your jack down, recenter your jack so both front wheels are up off the ground, and then cycle it back and forth. Check the power steering dipstick to see what the level was, and it was down. It was showing on the stick, but it was down, and so I just topped it off. We're good to go, and I started looking for any kind of sign of leaks while it was running, and churn it back and forth and all that. Because it's got the old leak everywhere on there, basically all I could watch for is drips, and I didn't see any. So I think we're good. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to spray it with degreaser on the inside cover and the wheel well, on the A-frame, and then up in the engine compartment down as far as I can get everything. Spray it down with that super clean defoamer and then spray her off with a pressure washer. I think that should get it cleaned up good. Oh, when I spray it too, I'm going to use a brush on the inside wheel well. Everything I can get to. As far as down in between the engine there, with all the wiring and all that, I'm just going to spray it and wash it out. It's about the best I can do with that. So that's it for this video. So if you like it, hopefully it helped you out. Give me a like, hit the subscribe. Check out my merch shop. Pick out a t-shirt or a hat. Help out the channel, all right? So we'll see you next time.